Welcome to part 4 of my new player guide. This is taking place after 3 weeks of playing the game on this account, so just checking in on progress and where I'm at. So I'm pretty early into stage 10. I am all the way to stage 10, so I feel like I'm progressing pretty well as far as where I want to be. And due to some of the big upgrades I'm expecting to have over the next week, I feel like I'm right on track just as far as progressing through the game pretty quickly. On hard mode, I'm also I'm progressing, not quite as far. I'm most of the way through stage 4. I'm really not focusing on hard mode too much though, just because it doesn't offer anything super great as far as gold or gear. What I am spending most of my time is farming hell mode. Now I'm really early into stage 3, but I can pretty well just auto clear stage 1 and 2, which is very important. And I'll kind of explain why in a minute. These are the two stages that you're just going to be wanting to be farming the most for gear, which is going to make a big jump in as far as your slime's power and just help you progress further in the game overall. Now, over the last week, a big focus really has been on upgrading gear, slimes, talents, and a couple of different buildings in the slime village, which I'll get into in a minute. As far as gear, I've been playing through Hell Stage 1 and just continuing to farm equipment alongside gold and other materials. Stage 1 is definitely the one you want to farm though, as you'll be able to get weapons and armor as far as the equipment drops, just because each stage does have different equipment drops it gives. So that stage 1 is going to be the one you're wanting to farm, just because that's what you're going to be able to get the weapons needed to merge your archer's bow and your barbarian's armor to mythic, and then eventually mythic plus 2 is really the goal where we want to be at. So you need just obviously getting a lot of archer's bows in order to get to mythic, but then after you get to mythic, you can just use any other mythic weapons in order to merge it up. So what I need when I want to merge my current bow up to mythic plus 1, I would need my mythic archer's bow and then 2 more mythic other pieces of equipment. So if I go to merge here, I can actually take my existing one of my other mythic archer's bows, and then I can contribute these two, a mythic caster's weapon and a mythic barbarian axe. I'm going to merge them, get it to mythic plus 1. So the goal is I need to do that once more so I can go and merge my current bow that's been leveled up to level 100. I need a mythic plus 1 weapon. Doesn't have to be a bow in this case, so I could do this sword. So I need one more mythic weapon so I can get it to mythic plus 2, which is just going to give it bonus base stats, as well as just also increase the level cap to 180, which is going to give you a lot more levels and just really drastically increase the strength of the equipment. You can see just from doing the merge upgrade, my attack on this equipment basically doubles. We're going to see that same thing with the armor as well. So really just merging and upgrading this armor and weapon is going to be critical. Now, as far as why we want to just focus on doing stage 1 first rather than doing stage 2, which does drop some helmets and accessories, that's just because your armor and your weapon, it's going to give more stats. So if we look at the stats of my helmet, I get 2300 attack at level 100. For my bow, I get 4700 attack. So we're getting almost double, and obviously this isn't a fair comparison here because this is only legendary, but you're getting 7500 HP. And then we consider it really should be roughly close with that barbarian's helmet as far as HP goes versus the attack. So the weapon and armor give, in some cases, just a little more than double the attack and HP stat. So that's why we're focusing on the bow and the armor. So we're just farming stage 1. That's why I'm continuing to do, at least until I can get them to mythic plus 2, which I'm very close. I need one more mythic weapon to get my archer's bow to mythic plus 2. Then I need only one more mythic piece of armor to be able to get my armor to mythic plus 2. At that point, what I'm going to do, and I'll probably need a lot of gold to be able to really upgrade those to that full level 180, but then I'm going to transition to farming stage 2, which is going to drop me the helmet and accessories, which are going to be really good. It's going to give you, just more bonus stats. Then ideally after that, if we can swing it, that's going to be the point where I might take a couple of spare mythics and dismantle them and try and get some runes, which I'll talk about in just a minute. So the next thing I want to talk about upgrading, and where I've really just kind of continued to be focusing on upgrading, is just upgrading my slimes. So you can see I have Willer and Yolanda to level 150, Willer to level 150 for the gold farming, Yolanda up to a level 150 just because Yolanda's strong. And then Yamlet, I actually have now up to level 162. My goal is to continue to just try and upgrade Yamlet. So if I go in, let's reset Yolanda real quick, and I'll show you. If I max it out here, I am 20 slime stones short of being able to break the level cap again, and going up to level 200 is the new level cap. That's my goal. So as I'm just going through the mine treasure event, and then I'm doing my Gygus battles, I am just trying to get those last 20 earth slime stones, which is really just going to help be able to get Yamlet. If ideally I can get Yamlet up to level 200, that should really give me a good shot at just progressing even farther in normal mode, being able to clear stage 10, 11. Then we'll try for stage 12 as well. Another thing along with slimes, and this is one that can be a little difficult and a little random. If you have the option to, getting an artifact and upgrading it for a slime can be really helpful. Each slime has a different element, and your artifacts also correspond with the element. So unfortunately, I don't have an earth artifact I can use for Yamlet. If I did, I would also be focusing on upgrading that. I do have a special element artifact that I could equip and upgrade on Yolanda. I'm saving my resources right now though, just because for normal mode, I really do expect Yamlet to be my slime. That's going to allow me to push really far. Another thing I've been focusing on upgrading is my talents. That's just a continual grind. I am getting pretty far up there, so level 692 out of 950 on attack. I've also upgraded some double damage percent, some hit rate, and then as far as like HP, a little in shield HP. But these are just continually things I am trying to upgrade, just because they're going to keep getting stronger as you continue to upgrade them. And then with these bonus stat percentages from the archer's bow, like these quality skills, and then the Tower of Elements, and then runes eventually, those percent bonuses will stack really well with those upgrade talents. So you really just do need to make sure you continue to grind those. Now, the last thing I want to get into in this video is building and upgrading a couple more buildings in the Slime Village. So if I go to the Slime Village tab in this bottom right area of the screen, you can see I have continued to upgrade the Tower of Elements to level 3, just because if we go in here, you can continue to upgrade these individual element trees. I've been focusing on the special element and the earth element. The earth element's really crucial just because I do intend on having Yamlet to try and push me far on normal mode. And then I'm using Willer as well for hell mode, and then Yolanda, which is why I'm also focusing on the special element. A couple of other buildings that I would just recommend building. We're not going to get a ton of benefit out of them yet. Obviously, we've already built, like I was able to build the slime shop last week. This is something I really would definitely focus on. I was able to get a 5 times gameplay speed for a day. I used that just because I wanted to try and farm gear a bit quicker. A couple other ones that you would also build is the blacksmith is one that's going to be useful to build. We're actually not going to get a ton of use out of it yet. Really, the big point we're going to be able to actually be able to get some use out of it. I'm not going to dismantle anything here, but you're going to get to the point where you have some spare mythics. So like, I don't want to actually upgrade my archer's bow past mythic +2, just because I want to use it eventually down the road. I'm going to use it as fodder for like a dominator weapon or something, getting that upgraded to mythic +3. So I'm going to stop at mythic +2. But in the meantime, you can use those spare mythics, and actually will end up being able to dismantle them. You're going to get ingots, which are good for forging and creating weapons down the road. But really, we're just going to dismantle some spare mythics eventually. Not now again, because I want to make sure I get my stuff to Mythic +2 first. But we're going to be able to dismantle some and get some different runes, which runes are going to be a key part just a key part later in the game. So if we go to my runes here, I was able to actually get a couple of runes from some purchases for gems in the mystery shop, but you're going to be able to get bonus percent stats to things like attack, HP. You can also get shield HP. There's critical chance, multi-attack chance, some really cool things that you can get here. But these percent bonuses are going to be really huge just as far as being able to boost the overall strength of your slime. Late game, they're very important. So that is one of the buildings I did just want to make sure I had built ready to go once I can get some spare mythics. The other building I did end up building, and I'm in the process of upgrading right now to level 2, is the Fountain of Faith. So the Fountain of Faith is a cool building that it allows you to use these tiers that you farm in various difficulty modes of the game and just earn while playing in general. But it can give you temporary buffs, and the gold tiers can actually give you permanent buffs. But you can use these tiers as well as some gold. You're not going to want to use these a ton, especially early on. You're going to want to use them pretty sparingly just because the gold cost is expensive to be able to get these temporary buffs. But these temporary buffs, and then later down the road, permanent buffs, once you farm your Fountain of Faith, your summoning level up enough, they're going to be really helpful just because when you're trying to push a farther stage, you can get some additional like bonus attack percentage, that multi-attack, extra damage resistance, some good stats similar to runes provide, but these are temporary buffs you can get. So if I'm really just trying to push and beat like normal mode stage 10 or 11, or I'm just on the edge of being able to beat a stage, this can be a good way to temporarily beat the stage. This is also a really good tool for trying to progress far in the league. Usually you'd like save your tiers and then end up trying to use them for the league and just help you try and progress an extra few waves. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Next week is going to be the finale, part 5 of my new player guide. But let me know if you have any additional questions. I'm glad to help.